In today's video, we'll be going over the 3 ways to switch colors while crocheting. These 3 ways include inertia, fair isle, and tapestry. Inertia crocheting is basically switching the balls of yarns as you crochet. You disconnect and reconnect each ball of yarn as you switch. Now before I begin switching colors, first I've made a row of single crochets. First I'll be crocheting 5 single crochets on this row with the white yarn I'm holding on to. On the 5th stitch, I won't be completing it. Instead, I'm going to take my other color, which in this case I'm using yellow, and I'll be finishing off the last stitch with that color. Now I will continue to crochet with the second color I'm using, normally. Now after you've completed the second color that you're using and you want to revert back to the initial color you were using, for inertia crochet you should have another ball of yarn that is the same as the first color you were using. Here I have another ball of white yarn that I'll be using to finish off this row. In the end, your first row should look something like this. For inertia crochet, you can continue the second row with the same yarn. When moving on to switching colors, you can see that my yellow yarn is already attached to my work. I can just grab that yarn and then continue crocheting. Finally coming to the end of the row, you can see that my white yarn is also already attached to my work. I can go ahead and grab that yarn and continue crocheting until the end. In the end, this is what your final product should look like. Fair isle crochet is when you leave out these large strings in the back of your work. These kinds of stitches can be good for creating works that are hung up on walls or sweaters, where the backside isn't necessarily shown. To start off this kind of crochet method, again I have a set of chains. Now I'm going to switch my yarn like I did for inertia. To switch back, I'm going to take the yarn that I left off at the beginning. Now, what you're gonna want to do is when you pull out this yarn, make sure it's not too tight, or else your project is going to curl up. Now you can continue crocheting with this color till the very end. This is what your first row should look like after it's done. Now you can move on to the second row. After completing the first part of your second row, make sure to take the white yarn in front of your work. This is necessary to keep all the stringy parts in one part of your project. Again, when I want to switch back to white, I'm going to take the white yarn that I used in the beginning of the row to finish off this row. In the end, this is what your final product should look like. Now you can go ahead and take a pair of scissors and cut off the ends and weave in the ends. After that, this is what my product looks like. Moving on to tapestry. Essentially, tapestry is just switching colors by weaving in the other color until you get to the part you want to switch. Again, to begin my demonstration, I have a set of chains. First, I'm going to create 5 single crochets. Now, I'm going to take my yellow yarn and use it to finish off my final 5th stitch. Now, instead of letting go of the white yarn, I'm going to hold it close to my work, and then while I'm crocheting, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch and under the white yarn. When I do this, instead of the white yarn hanging on, it will be within the yellow stitches. Now, after finishing this, you can see that my white yarn is in the same place as my yellow yarn. Now, I can just switch these two colors to continue crocheting. Again, moving on to the white part, the yellow yarn will be stitched inside the white part. Now moving on to row 2. This is what it should look like afterwards. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.